If you give me less than 15 minutes, friends, I shall clear every doubt you have about curve sketching and further curve sketching. So this question wants us that we should sketch the graph y equal to x squared plus 4 over x squared minus 4, and we should deduce the graph of the inverse function y equal to 1 by f of x. Okay, so friends, let's get started. Like I said, less than 15 minutes I shall clear all the doubts you shall have concerning curve sketching. That is the function we have on screen, friends. They want us to sketch the curve. Now the very first thing we need to start by getting is the domain of definition of this function, and for this our rational function, all our focus is that the denominator should not be equal to 0, namely our x squared minus 4 should not be equal to 0. If we solve for x, friends, we have our x which is not equal to -2, or x is not equal to 2. At this particular case, friends, we need to get the limit of the function at the boundaries of its domain. Namely, if we take the limit as x tends to -2 from the left hand side of the function, if we take a number that is less than -2, that is slightly less than -2, let's say, for example, guys, let's take -2.1. If you plug -2.1 into the at the top, -2.1 squared, that gives us positive. So the bottom is positive, the top is positive. We are going to have positive infinity. Likewise, if we take the limit as x tends to 2 from the right hand side, if we take a number that is slightly above 2, let's say we take 2.1, up becomes positive, down becomes positive. So we have positive infinity. In this particular case, friends, we can simply say that hence the lines x equal to -2 and the line x equal to 2 are vertical asymptotes. Why do we conclude that they are vertical asymptotes? It is because we have taken the limit of a finite quantity and we have an infinite quantity. It means whenever x turns to -2 from the left hand side, something abnormal happens to the y value. The same thing when x turns to +2 from the right hand side, friends, something abnormal happens to the y value. Now at this point, friends, we need to take the limit as x turns to -infinity of the function. Negative infinity means up is positive, down is still positive, so we are going to have our answer to be 1. Why do we have 1, friends? In such a case, whenever x turns to plus or minus infinity, we care about just the highest power of x at the bottom, at the top and at the bottom, namely x squared over x squared, which gives us 1. If we had a 2 at the top, we are going to have 2x squared over x squared, which gives us 2. It continues in that same manner. So we simply take the entire term that has the x squared at the top and divide with the 1 at the bottom. Namely, we are going only for the highest degree of x up and down. So we are going to have 1. We take the limit as x turns to positive infinity, friend, the same thing happens. We have 1. We have taken the limit of an infinite quantity and we have a finite. So it means that whenever x is turning towards a very whenever x is turning towards something that is so abnormal, we have a constant value. It means we can conclude that the line y equal to 1 is a horizontal asymptote. Great. So at this point now, friends, we need to get the range of the function. To get the range of this function, friends, note the range of a function is the domain of its inverse. So we set y equals to the function x squared plus 4 over x minus 4. If we cross multiply and arrange the equation to resemble that of a quadratic, we have y minus 1 into x squared minus 4y minus 4 equal to 0. That is when we carry whatever we have on the left hand side to the right hand side and factorize the x squared, we have that. So now we realize that this is a quadratic equation in which a is y minus 1, b is 0, and our c is -4y minus 4. And for such a quadratic equation like this, friends, the range of this quadratic, friends, is to be given by the discriminant. Namely, our discriminant should be greater than or equal to 0, or we need to take just real values of x. So in this case, friends, for real values of x, our discriminant, namely b squared minus 4ac, has to be greater than or equal to 0. If we plug that in, friends, b squared, b is 0, so we have minus 4a is y minus 1, c is -4y minus 4. If we evaluate that, friends, we are going to have 4 into y minus 1 into y plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. At this point now, guys, we need to test the regions in our number line. We have the critical value at this point whenever our y is 1 and when y is -1. If we plug -1, we plug 1, friends. What we need at the top has to be a closed circle because this inequality is not a strict inequality, so we can go for the solutions. In this case, the -1 and the 1, friends, are members of our solution. So in this case, we have a closed circle at both ends. If we take a region between -1 and the 1, let's take a number between this interval from -1 to 1. Let's take 0. If we plug in 0 here, 0 here, we have 0 minus 1. So here this is -1. 0 plus 1, there is a 1. What is -1 times 1, guys, gives us -1. -1 times 4 gives us -4. So it means the overall sign of this inequality in this interval is negative. And friends, if you care, you can test these other regions, but I shall tell you for free that when this is negative, this region must be positive and this must be positive. The inequality signs will always intersect. Okay, we have the range, friends. We can simply say our range has to be y such that y is less than -1 because it's a greater than sign, or when our y is greater than or equal to 1. That is what we want to have. The next thing, we need to get the turning points. So friends, to get the turning points, all we need to do is just to differentiate the function. Namely, we find f prime of x. And this is a rational function. To do this, we keep the bottom constant, differentiate the top, differentiate x squared plus 4, we have 2x, minus the top, differentiate the bottom, we have 2x, everything on the square of the bottom. So if we evaluate this, we have a result of -16x over x squared minus 4, all that squared. So friends, at our turning point, we must have our f prime of x being equal to 0. If we sub that to 0, if this becomes 0, it means that the top is 0, and the only number that can make the top 0 is at the point where we have x equal to 0. Friends, at this point when x becomes 0, we come back to the original function. We plug in 0 for x, we have 0, 0. 4 over -4, friends, we have -1. So implies when our x is 0, y becomes -1 for the turning point. Now, friends, we need to draw now a variation table to make this clear. The variation table simply summarizes the function, simply summarizes the graph of the function. It simply helps us to know what happens to the overall function even before we sketch the graph. At this point, friends, we need the boundaries of the domain from -infinity to, we end at -2 because -2, friends, is not a member of this domain. So we need to see the behavior of the function between -infinity and -2, and from -2, friends, to 0, because 0 is our turning point. Then we have from 0 to 2, and from 2 we have positive infinity. Now, friends, let's take a number between -infinity and -2, and we test that in this crescent function. Let's say we take -3. Up is already -16. The bottom is always positive no matter the value of x. It can be positive or 0. So for this our function to be negative or positive, it depends only on the top and not on the bottom. So at this point, friends, if we take our -3 and we plug in that into -16 for x, we are going to have negative times negative, which gives us positive. So this region from -infinity to -2 has to be positive. Taking a number between -2 and 0, let's say we take -1. The same thing happens, friends, we have a positive. Now, let's take a number between 0 and 2. Let's take 1. If we take 1, friends, we have a negative. Having a positive and negative is a clear indication to tell us that 0 is our turning point, or 0 in this case, friends, simply serve as an axis. Okay. Now, let's take a number between 2 and positive infinity. Let's say we take 3. We have a negative here. So, friends, having a positive sign means that the function in this case has increased from -infinity to -2. What value did it increase from? It began, what was the limit as x turns, as x was -infinity? We had 1, right? So the thing increased from 1. What was the limit as x turns to -2 from below, friends? What do you think was the answer? -2 from below, we have positive infinity. Then, our friends, from -2 now, friends, it has to increase. What was the limit? It has to increase, friend. It has to increase, sorry, from that positive infinity again, friends, up till 0. Then now, friends, a negative sign means that the function is decreasing from 0 to what value, friends? What was the limit as x was turning towards positive infinity, friends? We had 1. Yeah, at this point we have 1. That's a conclusion to tell us that the line y equal to 1 is also an asymptote. Okay, now friends, I think we have everything it takes to sketch this graph. Let's go ahead and do it. Are you ready, friends? Let's go. Okay friends, so let's go ahead. That's our vertical axis, let's call that y, and this is the horizontal axis, let's call that x. Good. So friends, we will need a number of things. Let's start by giving calibrations to our line. We are going to be labeling, but mostly the ones that we need in graphs. The very first thing you must insert are simply your asymptotes, friends. That's the very first thing we insert. So friends, the very first thing we insert, we have an asymptote at the point where x is -2. Asymptotes are drawn with broken lines, so that's why we have this at the point x equals -2, and we have it at the point where x is equal to 2. We also have the horizontal asymptote at the point where y is equal to 1. So this is it we have. Now guys, the next thing we want to do, let's get the intercepts. Let's insert the intercepts. So our intercepts, friends, we had an intercept at the point where x was 0 and y was -1. So this is what we have. So at this point now, friends, it means that our graph has to respect the asymptote both upward and downwards. It has to respect its asymptote. So having an asymptote, this having an intercept this way, it means that our curve has to pass like this, respecting the asymptotes both to the left and towards the right. So we have the graph at this particular point. Friends, what's the limit as x was turning towards minus from the left hand side, y was going towards positive infinity? So we should also have the graph like this. What was the limit as x was turning towards 2 from the right hand side, friends? We still had positive infinity, so the curve will still be going like this. As you can see, I'm illustrating, it can still be going like this. So friends, at this point in time now, we can say this is the graph of y equal to x squared plus 4 over x squared minus 4. Now friends, let's go ahead now to sketch the reciprocal of y equal to f of x. Are you ready, friends? Let's go. We have y equal to the graph of y equal to 1 over f of x. So we need to, now friends, 1 over f of x means our y now becomes x squared minus 4 over x squared plus 4. Now let's get the intercept. When x becomes 0, our y becomes -1, and when our y becomes 0, our x becomes plus or minus 2. Good. So at this point, friends, the domain of definition now turns out to be what? The set of all real numbers of x. Now, minimum turning point, friends, will now become, the turning point we saw earlier was a maximum turning point, but the graph of y equal to 1 over f of x now will now have a minimum turning point, and it has to, and the first x value will remain, but the y value now is going to be negative the reciprocal of it. So you're going to have negative the reciprocal of the first one, that was 1. This one becomes now -1. Okay, let's sketch the curve now, friends. So we have an asymptote, friends. We have we still have our horizontal asymptote at the point where our y is equal to 1. Okay, let's insert everything, friends. So our asymptotes, let's put some few calibrations. Okay, that's it. At the line where y equal to 1, this is the asymptote. So our graph now has an intercept of x equal to +2 and x equal to -2. So we have it at this point. We also have it at this point. When y is 0, x is -1. So we have it at this point. So our graph has to pass like this. It has to pass through -1, and it will respect the asymptote. Okay. So friends, now let's combine this graph now with the first one now on the same graph and see what we get. Let's go, friends. This is the graph, friends. Let's combine everything into one graph and you'll see the nature of the graph. Let's do it. Okay, so friends, this is the graph. We have combined everything, the graph of y equal to f of x and the graph of y equal to 1 over f of x squared. So friends, that's it for the video. That's it. If you love the video, friends, a simple thumbs up will mean the world to me. And be sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to have more great content from us, friends. Have a blessed day.